Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, Cardell is another great year for the Jim Couch National Trading Showcase. Who stood out this year?
Yeah, man, it was the 2023 Jim Couch Showcase. We do it every year, annual showcase that brings some of the top players around the country, high school basketball to come and not just play, but, train, get better. The mission is for all the kids to come. When they leave, they feel better. Even if it's 1% better, you're better. Today we had a loaded field. This year weekend we had a loaded field. Want to definitely thank Gonzaga, for coming up from the DC to play in they play obviously in the best high school league in the country, in WCAC. So to get a team of that caliber that is not only dominant locally, but dominant nationally to come and play, was a big deal. You know what I mean? And I, appreciate Coach Turner and all those guys for making the trip and representing. They came in, they handled business. They were not playing. I'm gonna touch on a couple of their players that stood out, but even as a team, they didn't play. They swept both teams. They beat Eagle Academy, who's the reigning NYC City champions, and then on Sunday they beat Mount Vernon, who's working on 10 state championships under legendary coach of his own, Bob Semino. So they represented well, man. Also want to take my hat off and shout out to Connolly's. For those that don't know, I call them the first family of the NBA front office. Joe Connolly, who's the director of scouting for Minnesota Timberwolves, his son Mike, came and played and played well, extremely well in the upperclassmen game. I'm gonna touch on his performance in a little bit, but he just so happened to bring his brothers, Tim Connolly, who's the president of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Pat Connolly, who's the assistant general manager for the Chicago Bulls. They all came through and checked out the talent on hand, which it's a big deal. You gotta understand, for a lot of these kids, this was probably their first time playing in front of NBA personnel. So for them to come through and just sit up in the stands like if they were a regular parent, and obviously in Joe's case he was, but as wear different hats as the uncles and father, but also checking out the other talent on hand, man, that just shows you the caliber of the showcase, and it just shows moving forward with these kids. If you come and play, you have no idea who's watching, and when you come to play. You know what I mean? Give everything you got, because you don't know. I'm for sure certain that a couple of the kids got on the NBA radar because of their performance, and they will be watched as they continue to grow and develop through high school, college, or if they go, the Ignite path or go to the NBL, next generation path and stuff like that in Australia, pathways like that. But, once again, thanks to them. But without further delay, I'm going to get into the standouts, man. First up is a player that really need no introduction. He's one of the top players in the junior class. He's ranked 32nd by ESPN. Gonzaga's Nick Lewis, 6'2", guard, could play the point, could play it too. He was just amazing. He won MVP in the showcase game against Mount Vernon. Shot lights out, defended well. Defended Mount Vernon's 5'7" point guard who's nasty in his own right. Defended him well. He could switch off, defend multiple positions, but it's his totality of his game that makes him special. Not only is he a 3-level scorer, excellent ball handler, has great vision, can pass the ball, great competitor. He's sharp. He has all the intangibles. He's tough. He's everything you want to play, and there's a reason why he's ranked that high. There's a reason why he's covered by pretty much every program in the country, man. Scary that he's a junior, because he's only going to get better and get sharper. You know what I mean? So I love what I saw from him. He definitely validated his ranking. Some kids come up there and, they rank. They got a lot of hype, but you're like, yeah, he just know the right people. He's not that good, but nah. Nick Lewis is the real deal. Next up is his backcourt mate, Derek Dixon. Gonzaga, same class, 2025, a little bit taller at 6'4". Just a versatile guard, man, could do it all. The reason why Gonzaga was hard to deal with this weekend, will be hard to deal with during the season, is because the backcourt, Nick Lewis and Dixon, they can switch off playing a 1 or 2 seamlessly. You don't know, so you gearing up for one to possibly, play point guard, have point guard duties, when in reality it could be the other one on any given play, and you have no idea which way it's coming from, man. And the point of attack, so it's hard to game plan for that. And they're both efficient at what they do. But Dixon, man, he shot lights out. He won MVP of the first game against Eagle Academy in Brooklyn, the city champs. He did his thing, man. He had a game high 21 points. He shot the ball well from three, got to the lane, knocked down a floater, facilitated well, defended well. He can rebound. But the one thing I love about his game is he can move well without the ball, man. He's just sharp. Like a lot of kids, especially it happens in the NBA. They pass the ball up, they just stand in the spot. He not only moves, but he moves with purpose and effectiveness. Like he just don't move just to move. He'll do a dribble handoff, set a quick screen, then he cuts with purpose and precision where he gets right to the basket. So he's a threat. And you got to pick your poison. Either he's going to score or he's going to dump it off to one of his forwards or something. They're going to score. But either way, it makes their team that much more hard to defend just because of that. Ball movement kills, man, and moving without the ball kills. It's the same thing. So it's hard to keep an eye on him when he's on the floor, man. He's just dynamic, man. He's right there behind Nick Lewis. He has a lot of offers as well from big time schools. I don't know why he's not ranked, and as one of the top juniors in the country. He's definitely up there in my eyes. I'm pretty sure he will be too. Maybe they just don't want to put two Gonzaga players up there, but if it warrants it, it warrants it. But bottom line is with that backcourt, to me, if there's a better backcourt in the high school ranks in the DMV, hey, please let me know because I don't think there is. Moving forward to the MVP of the upperclassmen game, and who I believe is the best prospect at Jim Couch, who was the best prospect at Jim Couch, Mabel Maoud, kid from the Sudan, just came to the States, plays for Al Xavier Lutheran, 6'10" forward center. He's in the junior class as well. Dominant, both ends, inside, plays with a motor, plays with energy. He loves the defensive end just as much as he loves the offense. And what makes him special offensively is he's agile, quick, and moves like a guard, but he's skilled and playing like a traditional big man and getting on the perimeter, breaking you down and showing some guard skills. He can hit the pull-up threes. He can pass with effectiveness. He can handle the ball. He can post up and play like a big man. He's not afraid to bang and go up strong and try to dunk on you or whatnot. He can finish with either hand over both shoulders and either block. He's a lob threat. He runs the floor basket like a guard, which is essential for any big. You got to be able to run the floor because you get easy points that way, and you suck in the defense so your guards can have room to shoot or roam. And he does that at will. And defensively, man, he take that in serious. Like a lot of bigs, when they hedge out on guards, they hedge out for a couple seconds and then look to get back to that man. This man hedges out on the guards and forces the guards damn near to half court. And then they so far out of reach where it's hard for them to try to make a play. He knows he has time, and he's automatically releasing and telling the guard, yo, go get him. And he's coming back to his man so they can't try to take advantage of a mismatch, man. And he's doing that on his own, communicating, just having that, just seeing that up close was just a sight to see. And it was just beautiful to watch. And another thing that's great about him is he can also move without the ball. That's what I mean by the guard and the forward skills, man. He's not a big that, he's just going to be on the block or he's just trying to look for a quick three. He's constantly moving as well. Whoever taught him how to play the game knew what they were doing, man. And like you about to see right here when I'm talking about how he hedges this guy out. The guard, watch what he does. And watch how long he follows him. Damn, that half court. Now get back to your man. See what I'm saying? It's just you don't see that even at the NBA level. They make excuses for not being able to play defense and whatnot, and it shouldn't be that way, man. Just a special talent. He's by far the best prospect that played this weekend. And he's playing with Al Xavier Lutheran. I think I was told they play on the overtime elite circuit. I think their team is Jellyfound. That's the name of their team. So we all know the Thompson twins came from that circuit and got drafted. So it was a good chance he's going to get a lot of eyes on him. And he came up in the basketball academy in Africa. I think the NBA puts on. So they've done a great job developing them. Embiid came through there. I think Serge Ibaka way back in the day was like one of the first ones. Just a lot of African-born players that thrive came up in that academy, man. He just happened to be the latest one. He's a special talent, man. And I wouldn't, of course, you just seeing that no one should be shocked if he's playing 82 games one day. It's just as simple as that. He's already a high major player right now, so it's not far-fetched to see him being that. Next up, one of the best players to me in the DMV, Mason Ellison out of Loyola Blakefield, 6'4" guard, junior class, man. The junior class is loaded. They were strong this year. Super athletic wing, can defend multiple positions. He grew. He's a legit 6'4", got good length, super explosive. Like I said, he can guard a 1, 2, and 3. Streaky shooter. When he's hot, he's hot. You know what I'm saying? But he can also be cold. He can be streaky. So that's the one element of his game that needs improvement. And if he does get it improving, where he's becoming more of a knockdown shooter, it's going to be hard to stop the kid. It already is, but it's going to be very ugly because now he's going to have you at his mercy. But as far as getting the rock, rebounding, making plays for others, and getting the ball in the transition and getting to the basket, slashing to the basket, he does that in his sleep. And with his athleticism, his fearlessness, his size, touching around a basket, and his mentality, he looks to dunk everything. It's hard for a lot of people to guard him, to stay in front of him. He's a special talent, man. He's very he was underrated to me. I felt like he was a high major prospect last year. He had a few mid majors coming throughout the high school season. He just got a big one when he just got offered by the home state team, Maryland, which I'm happy for him, man. He earned that. He earned that. He's that good. You know what I mean? So I expect a lot of other high majors to follow, and it's going to be a recruitment war. He's that special. You know what I mean? And just seeing him grow from last year where he came and won the underclassman MVP, he was about 6 feet, 6'1", still athletic, dunking and stuff like that, to now is even more explosive. And now he's bigger. He's my height now, 6'4", and you can just see the confidence and assurance and him just maturing as a player, where he feels when he's stuck on the court, there's no reason why I shouldn't be the best player on the court. You can just see that in his mind, even though he may not say it, but he plays like it. So the sky's truly the limit for him, man. The thing for him is just keep working. Now that he's starting to get the big time offers, don't let that get to his head. Stay humble and just continue to grind, man, because he has the potential to play beyond college if he stays with it. Next up is one of the kids I'm most happy about, man, because a lot of these previous players, they already had a name. He made his name this weekend with the caliber of talent that was in the building in the upperclassmen game. And it's Mike Connolly, plays for St. Vincent Pallotti, 6'2" point guard, junior class again, 2025 kid, man. Look, he came up the last couple years. You could tell he was trying to find his way as a player. A little timid. He always had skill. He always had IQ. But what he lacked was confidence and toughness to be able to execute in different situations where physicality was needed to make the play. Whatnot. And you could just tell he was trying to just feel himself out, see what he can be, because it's different when you play against national competition compared to when you're at home and you kind of running into guys consistently and stuff like that. You sometimes fight against the unknown, and the unknown can kind of bother you mentally a little bit. Not this year. Not only did he come back taller, he's 6'2" now than he was last year, where he was about 5'10". He came back about 6'2". He came in on a mission. His first touch of the game was a deep three. As soon as he checked in the game, no hesitation, pump fake, jab, let it fly, all that. Then he hit the next 2 threes. And just like that, he got 9 points on the board. His team was down. When he got in the game, his team was back up. And now it was just a battle. It was a back and forth battle for the rest of the game. They had other guards on the team, the black team or whatnot, that started over him, that was getting in the game or whatever, but the flow of the game was just different when he was in the game, man, when he orchestrated things. The guys got the ball when they were supposed to, where some of the other guys were over dribbling. He made the extra plays. He did the little things, the intangible things to make everything flow, setting screens, communicating, getting after defensively, pressing full court, just doing all the things that help you win, making winning plays. He did those things. And then he came big in the clutch when they were down 2 with about a minute left. Leaked out ahead, made a tough layup over one of the defenders who was flying in, trying to block Glass's shot, damn near at the top of the square. He made that tough layup in the clutch. And then in the very next possession, Solomon Aminu, who I'm going to touch on, got a big block. The ball was bouncing around, loose ball, 50-50 ball. He gets hit, and as he's falling down, he gets the ball and in one motion throws an on-and-down pass over his shoulder ahead to the basket, where one of the other guards got it, dished it to Aminu, who was hustling down the court after the block, and dunked the ball for the go-ahead bucket. And then he stepped to the line. He got fouled. He stepped to the line, and he made 1 or 2 to put him up for good. And they ended up coming back and winning the game in the last minute, just making those type of plays throughout the game. He made winning plays throughout the game. And the thing is, he will not see talent like that throughout his high school season. Maybe throughout his high school career on that St. Vincent Pallotti go play some national teams, he will not see that size. Again, in the upperclassmen game, there were 8 players, 6'8", between 6'8" and 6'11", that were athletic and skilled. You know what I mean? And confident. They weren't scrubs at all. And he thrived in that environment. So if he can thrive in that environment against that size, it should be a big season, man. He really showed that he's turning a corner in his game, and he's one you need to keep you just need to keep an eye on if you're a college coach, man, because he could be one of them sleeper gems that D1 get, and he could be a monster, you know, in college as he continues to grow, get more confident. The next step for him is just filling out physically, getting stronger, getting more explosive, getting all that, so he can impose his will even more on the game. Once he get like that, I think it's off to the races for him. He'll be one of them players we in college were like, yo, why didn't you recruit him? You know, the head coaches ask the assistant, like, why didn't you recruit him? How he get out the area? How he get to that school? What were y'all doing? So, and that's always validation for a kid who coming into high school, you could say most recruits weren't even looking at. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to pass a lot of guys up for sure. Next up is Christian Gerdak, 6'10", big man, center, plays for Gonzaga, junior class. Again, it's a common theme, man, the junior class. When you see him at first glance, look like a tall, you know, country white boy, man, you know, no disrespect. You know, you're not sure if he can move or whatnot. You just don't quite know what you're going to get. But he's fairly athletic. He moves well, has great touch around the basket, a variety of moves, good footwork, strong. He plays like a big man. He ain't out there trying to shoot threes or something. He's trying to punish you. And he's tough. He's tough, man. And that's what you want out your big man. And he complements those guards and the wings that they have on Gonzaga well, because he holds down the post. He holds down the post. He holds down the paint, both ends as well. And another thing, the underrated part of his game that I love is that he's super sharp and efficient when he sets screens and either pops or rolls. And even when he got a re-screen, so to speak, because they ain't get the look that they want, he can feel the game and read the game and is in sync with Lewis and Dixon to do that, where they're going to get a good shot 9 times out of 10. If it ain't him, it's going to be one of the 3 or it's going to be one of the wings open, man. And, you know, he's the special talent, man, you know what I'm saying, in his own right. You know what I'm saying? He won't wow people because he's not super athletic. He ain't going to come down windmill on the whole team. But he going to get you consistent double-doubles. And consistent double-doubles help you win a lot of games and helps you win championships. So with that being said, he has his fair share of mid to high major D1 offers. I expect more to come, especially if he keep playing like he did this weekend throughout the season. Oh, he'll have his fair share of choices, man. So the sky's the limit as he continue to work on his body and, you know, getting in even better shape and, you know, cutting down the body fat and stuff like that. He could be even more dangerous. So, you know, it's an impressive prospect to keep an eye on as well. Next up, Ja'Kai Sanders, kid out of New York, senior guard out of Eagle Academy, Brooklyn. He had a tough task. He had to battle Nick Lewis and Derek Dixon at the same time, you know, Saturday in the big game, and boy, did he come ready to play. He was he can hit shots. He's again a streaky shooter, but he is lethal, strong, and explosive, going like attacking off the bounce, man, especially in pick and roll situation. Gonzaga struggled to keep him in front of him. They did, man. He was the reason why they stayed in the game, man. When Gonzaga looked like they jumped out big in the first quarter, and then Eagle Academy came back and made it a game, and he was the bigger reason why. And you could tell he's also their leader as far as spiritually and emotionally, man, because, you know, he kind of barked at the Gonzaga players. Even the big man, him and Gerdak, had some words, and that kind of set the tone for his teammates, like, all right, don't be scared, let's hoop. You know what I'm saying? Then they started fighting. You know, he had one play I love where he, you know, went around the screen, another dribble crossover, went up and dunked that thing. That's what you see in the league from 6'3" guards, man. Those are the type of plays that they make, and he's doing that in high school, man. You know, he can also pass as well. Even though he's more of a scoring type guard, he can definitely pass and facilitate. He has good vision. He's a strong defender. Definitely ferocious rebounder for his size. He'll get up in there with the trees and pull down the board, and then don't care about the contact at all, man. So he's another tough-minded guard. He has a few not mid-major, but low major offers. You know, hearing is a little bit academic related or whatnot. So I'm hoping he gets that under control because he definitely can help a lot of D1 programs with how confident, strong, and explosive he is, especially off the bounce, man. And you can always improve as a shooter to complement that, man. So, he was another one that did his thing. And last but not least, as far as the standouts, Kyle White, 6'1", 8th grader, legit 8th grader. Not one of these reclass 8th graders, be 15 in 8th grade killing. You should kill if you're 15, though. Legit 13, special point guard. He's one of the most special 8th graders I've seen, in my days, man. Number one will always be Joe Hampton because that boy was just different. 6'4", 6'5", doing the stuff he was doing at that time. But, White is special in his own right as a point guard, legit 6'1", too. The way his feel is, his instincts, his IQ for the game, combined with his skill and his speed, man. Like, it's not far-fetched to say that he could start on a lot of high school teams as an 8th grader right now. Like, that's how advanced he is. It's scary, especially with his size and everything. Even when he's flashy, is with purpose. He's not just doing it just to wow the crowd. He's doing it to make a play or get to the basket or get the jumper, man. And you seeing all that come together for an 8th grader. That's just, I'm really trying to find a point guard. He looked like a young Kenny Anderson. That's what he looked like. It's effortless. And then on defense, his instincts as well, man. Like he gets after you on that end. Like if the ball's exposed, it's in danger. You know what I mean? Anyway, and even with bigs and stuff, you think you might be able to post up and go into your move. He's coming down to swarm you and make you feel like it's 2 or 3 players around you. And you don't get that from kids that young. You don't even get that from guards in the league. Let's face it. We see it every night. But this kid, he already has the attention. So he's been coached extremely, extremely well. And the fact that he he ain't even started his 8th grade season. He's about to start that. So he basically got 5 years to grow and develop, man. They better hope he don't get to be like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", because it's easy to see that he's going to be like a top 10 player in the country. And he's just going to be dominant because he has all the tools right now, man. You know what I'm saying? He just got to stay with it. Don't let the wolves circle around him and, get him off course, mess up his mental, man. And he just stay locked into focus. He got a very, very bright future ahead of him. A few honorable mention names: Tavian Tyler out of Mount Vernon, 5'7", sophomore point guard. Look, he had a tall task, man. He dealing with, Nick Lewis and Derek Dixon in the game against Gonzaga. That's 6'2", 6'4". And he's always at a disadvantage with size, but his heart is big as Shaq. And, yeah, he struggled with his shot early. Gonzaga did a good job of pressuring him, making his size bother him and fatigue him. But he still found ways and stretches to get going and make shots and make plays. And defensively, he was picking Nick Lewis up full court consistently. You know what I mean? And he got his fair share of wins in that battle. You know what I'm saying? And, a lot of guards in high school just won't do that, because Nick can handle the hell out the rock, man, with his quickness and stuff. But Tavian Tyler is a dog. That's why I love that kid. He's the reason why a DMV team last year got beat by 30+ because they couldn't stop him as a freshman. So I was interested to see that matchup, man. And, he battled, he fought. And that's all you can say. He can shoot the ball. He can shoot from all 3 levels. Super quick and fast and over court. Yeah, he has great court vision. Gets after defensively. My rule with small point guards, man. You better be a pest defensively or I can't deal with you. Because otherwise you're just going to give up points. So, he definitely, shine, man. And I love what I saw out of him. Next up is Alex Tuamu, Gonzaga, 6'6" wing. Another one from the junior class. He's their Swiss Army knife. Nick Lewis and Derek Dixon going to get the headlines, but I think Alex Tuamu, he's the guy that does it all. And I also think he might be their best long-term prospect because of his size, because he could do a lot of things that they can do. He just don't need to do it. He's just playing his role so they can try to win games, but he can. But he's also more athletic and bigger. You see what I'm saying? So with him being able to learn a role and thrive in that role when it's time for him to get the keys, whether it's in high school, when he gets to college and stuff, he's going to be well equipped and know what to do because, one, he's seeing it and he's going to be ready for it because he's finally getting his chance to have the keys, so to speak. And he's that talented where he could drive the car and drive it well, man. So, he can shoot from all 3 levels. He can defend 1 through 4, especially at the high school level. He's a lob threat. He moves well without the ball. Rebounds well. He can handle. Whatever you need him to do, he can do. And it's rare to have that a high school player be that complete, at this stage, man. But he's pretty complete. It's just a matter of just sharpening and becoming more and more efficient at what he does, man. So, and with Coach Turner, that won't take long. And last but not least, Solomon Aminu, another kid from Africa, played in the same, African league with Mawoop, 6'8" forward in the junior class as well. Our Savior Lutheran. So you could tell that backcourt is going to be nasty. Him and Mawoop. That front court is going to be nasty with him and Mawoop for Our Savior Lutheran playing on the overtime elite circuit. He had the big block and hustle play when he ran down the floor, got the go-ahead dunk. That's what he does, man. He's a high motor, physical, athletic, big who loves to do the dirty work, rebound, set screens, running it, dunk, grab offensive rebounds, putbacks. Has a nice little mid-range jumper as well. Decent from the free throw line. Loves to defend. I don't even want people to take this wrong way, but Africans don't mind playing defense. Well, most Africans, there's one that I'm not gonna mention right now. It ain't that time, but most out they get after it, man. They don't like being scored on. They battle, they compete, and that's that's what you see out on. They compete like their life depend on it, and that's what you saw. Look, the way he plays the game, any team could use him because he's gonna make plays and not have to have a play call for him. He's gonna make plays, and you're gonna feel him throughout the game. Doing the little dirty work, the little things that a lot of players don't like to do, and then with that, you're gonna see his value. So I could easily see him being a double-double machine, like 15 type stuff all the time, 15-12, 20 and 10 type stuff all the time, because he's just relentless, man. If he stay out of foul trouble, he's gonna be always putting up big time numbers, man, for real. So, and also another one that had a solid performance was Nigel Harris, junior, plays for Oxford Hill, 6-foot point guard, had the mid-range jumper going, tough, stocky guard, drove to the lane, finished with the trees, took the contact well. That's his game. You know what I mean? As far as play well off the ball, in these type of settings, certain guards can always go to try to demand the ball, but he flowed effortlessly with him. Fine, I just beat the two. And then when he got his chance, he got the rock coming off screens, daylight. He was knocking it down, man. So, he's underrated player that people around here should also keep an eye on.
Look, man, it's always wonderful when you come back to share who stood out. So I'm happy once again. Another year, another great event, and another good showing by these young men. And I urge you all to do what I do every year. Every time Cardell comes back from an event, just go ahead and jot the names down. So if they end up at your favorite school or hurting your favorite school on the next level, you remember where you heard them first. It's not a shot. And as they progress, you get to mentally just take note of them and be aware of them much earlier than, when the masses get on it. So it's just a great practice that I do, and I urge you guys to do that as well. What we'll be doing now is taking our second break. When we get back, we will be talking right about the Washington Wizards. You're watching the Focus TV.